Well, all right, let's talk about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams ends up with a Jared Goff-like stat line. Ben Johnson's offense looked like Ben Johnson's offense again, and I think that's the best thing about this win for the Chicago Bears. Yes, it's the Dallas defense, and we'll get into it, but this felt like why you go out and pay a bunch of money to get Ben Johnson. Let's start off with the play you see on your screen. So you have a play action, and then you also have a receiver running a deep shot. And so what are those two things going to do? Well, the deep shot will push the defensive backs who are covering deep further deep, right? Whereas the play action will bring the linebackers further in because they have to make sure they defend the run. Meaning when Colston Loveland runs that route right there could be a window where nobody is, right? So let's see what happens. Williams takes a snap, fakes the handoff, the play action works, he throws down the field, and you see Colston Loveland is in fact open. This is exactly what you want. This is, again, what Ben Johnson does all the time. He loves this stuff. Other than trick plays, this is probably the main thing he's known for, and for good reason. It's very effective. As you see, nice throw from Williams. Loveland makes the grab, and they're able to pick up that completion right there. So, good stuff by everyone involved on the offense, we will say. Again, I think as a Cowboys fan, you'd hope they not get too out of position. But again, easier said than done. And this is what Ben Johnson did to bad defenses. Every time he had the opportunity when he was with the Detroit Lions, calling plays for them. This one, another one, still a 3-point game, still competitive here at the end of the half. They want to try and see if they can get a touchdown and not have to settle for just a field goal. They're going to run a play action. It's now going to be a different tight end who they're going to look towards right here. This is going to be Cole Kmet, the other good receiving tight end. Weirdly, they each only had one catch, Kmet and Loveland, but I'm showing both of them. Watch what happens. Williams takes a snap, and look at how out of position the Lions get. Cole Kmet is wide open. This is a guaranteed catch, even if it's not a perfect throw. And to be honest, this throw is a touch high, but good catch by Kmet. And again, it was just so open, it was going to work. And that's what you want, right? I don't need Caleb Williams to be perfect. I don't need Caleb Williams to never miss a throw. In fact, even in this game, he did have a few missed throws. You see this one, on a first down and 20, just went a bit high, had a chance of being picked. That's probably the worst missed throw of the game. Could have been a miscommunication, but I think it was probably just a missed throw. That one just a bit outside of Odunze's hands. And this one wasn't that bad. He was running full sprint, but still did one hop it. So there was that. But then there was also this stuff, which was very fun. This was the flea flicker play. So it's going to be a cover 3 zone that the Cowboys are in. And we can talk X's and O's and get more into the intricate details, but let's just think logically. You have 2 receivers running deep down the field. There are 3 defenders who are covering deep down the field. So usually what you would want to do is try and isolate a situation to where you can get a one-on-one matchup, right? However, you see with this flea flicker where they give it to the back Swift, who then flips it back to Caleb Williams, and it's kind of an awkward flip. They didn't execute that perfectly, but in doing this, you see both corners are moving in. They're playing the run. And so because they're moving in to play the run, now instead of having a numbers disadvantage of 3 defenders to 2 players, now you have 2 offensive players to only 1 safety. You see right here for the Dallas safety, what do you do at this point? Well, realistically, you should cover the guy who's running further deep, but I think he just, he's playing it out like he normally would. You have the muscle memory, maybe just it takes a split second to realize that you have absolutely no help and have to pick your poison right here. Because of this, he ultimately ends up covering neither of them. Williams makes a great throw down the field, and they're able to get a touchdown on that play. So again, if Ben Johnson's going to scheme this stuff up, Williams has the arm talent to make those plays. You'll live with a couple missed throws if you're going to get this, right? If you're going to get a schemed up opportunity for him to throw the ball down the field and Williams just having that arm talent. That's where Jared Goff, why him and Ben Johnson worked really well. It's because Goff could also make those really tough throws. And in fact, going over to this play, I think this is maybe why Ben Johnson could have could be the perfect fit for someone like Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams, in theory, if he can reach his potential, could be the perfect fit for Ben Johnson. I think a lot of people will say, this is a weird fit because wouldn't you like to have, if you have this great X's and O's offensive play caller, wouldn't you like to have a great game manager like Jared Goff? Goff and Ben Johnson accomplished a lot of really good stuff together. But in some ways, you maybe would rather have a Brock Purdy type, The way people talk about Purdy is often incorrect. Purdy's kind of an okay game manager, but the game that can be managed is essentially easy enough in San Francisco. An okay game manager still is like elite at the game manager stuff with Kyle Shanahan. And then when a play breaks down, Purdy's actually really good when a play breaks down, and it kind of completes that aspect of the offense. Well, that doesn't seem like that's crazy what Caleb Williams could end up being. So this play, it's a cover 2 zone. Williams takes the snap. Also worth mentioning, this is a 4th down and goal situation, but nothing's open. And for Ben Johnson, as good as he was in this game at getting guys open, he wasn't perfect. This was an opportunity where, Williams is going to have to try and figure something out. However, watch him start to move, and as he starts to move, a Dallas defensive back starts to move in because he has to make sure that he doesn't let Caleb Williams rush for the touchdown, and because of that, Williams notices this. Watch him flip it to DJ Moore. Now that that Dallas player abandoned his assignment, Moore was wide open, and they get the touchdown. That wasn't Ben Johnson. That was Caleb Williams, and this is how you want this to work if you're a Bears fan. Ben Johnson does an incredible job at scheming stuff up consistently. 90% of plays, Caleb Williams just has to do okay, and we can see that he was able to do that in this game. And then there will be a small handful of plays that don't work. And if your quarterback can make something happen on those plays, that's how you go from a good offense to an elite one. And I think that's what has to get you excited. Is I think there could be a Brock Purdy 49ers offense here in the cards. And again, obviously Williams is a much better athlete than Purdy, but just let's hope for Brock Purdy before we hope for anything more than that, right? I got to criticize the Dallas defense a bit here, though. Like, I can't just simply say, oh, wow, Bears offense is great. And they deserve credit. But, this play, it's a zone coverage concept. The Bears have, the concept you see for them, you have 2 receivers. The shallower one is mostly just a setup route. You're trying to draw the players who are covering more over the middle further in so you could throw over the top of them. If Dallas instead covers the deeper route, then you throw more underneath. Williams takes a snap, and these things, you run these concepts because they can work, right? But they usually don't work like this. I mean, Dallas completely collapses on the more underneath route. No one picks up the one going a little bit further down the field. There's also a deep route setting things up. Listen, this is a good concept by Ben Johnson. This is not his best play call of the game or anything. Like, these are concepts that you will see pretty consistently. The flea flicker, okay, that's Ben Johnson magic. This is a good play by Ben Johnson, but you shouldn't be giving up this much. Williams, to his credit, makes a perfect throw. They're able to pick up a big completion that set up the touchdown to put them up 10. So, good stuff by the Bears offense, but also, it is fair to say this wasn't the best defense you were going up against. Also, this play, which I think this is worth talking about as well, 3rd down and 8 early on in the game, you have Rome Odunze, who is going up one-on-one against Trayvon Diggs, who I don't even know if he's good or not. It seems like he had some really good games and some really bad games. Maybe the most fluky corner in the league. But just watch Trayvon Diggs. Watch as Diggs tries to press Odunze and then just slips and falls. I mean, again, Odunze runs this route really well. I don't know if he got past Diggs really well. So he deserves credit for this. Not trying to take it away, but also not a great rep by Trayvon Diggs, right? So hey, beating up on tough competition. But also, Odunze makes this grab. Looks really fast on this play. Really good throw from Caleb Williams. And it's also if they can add this part of their offense as well, again, going for Ben Johnson in Detroit, that's not really a thing they had too much of. As great as Amon-Ra St. Brown was, he's not really a downfield outside the numbers receiver. He's he's a slot guy, and an elite slot guy, but that's what he was. So this could be an interesting wrinkle if Odunze can do this. So a lot of fun to be had for the Bears. It's not just this game, but with the Packers loss, I bet Bears fans had a great Sunday, and things are a little bit easier for the next few weeks, right? They play the Raiders, the Commanders, the Saints. That's their next 3. They then do play Baltimore. That could be a little bit tougher, but then they play Cincinnati, the Giants. I don't know what the Vikings or the Steelers are, but those feel like they could be winnable at this point in the season. Who knows? I don't think it's crazy the Bears could turn things around a little bit after the disastrous week 2 performance and the disappointing week 1 collapse. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. Also, before I go, I'll mention that I do have a movie channel as well. If you like movies, want to hear me talk about movies, I have some movie reviews and some other fun things. So you can check that out if you want. The link is in the description below for that.